So the Premier League race is still kind of open. I mean, Chelsea, they managed to hurdle a tough game against Manchester City and emerge with all 3 points. Eden Hazard grabbing 2 goals, and Sergio Aguero was the player who grabbed the goal for Manchester City. Tottenham, what a remarkable sign of courage and I would say just their overall focus on the Premier League this season. Now, this is a team that last year basically put all their eggs in the basket to try and win the Premier League up against a Leicester team that weren't slowing down anytime soon. So Tottenham basically sabotaged themselves in the Europa League to focus on the Premier League, and it did not work out for them. And they eventually finished third. So that's probably on the mind of them this year. And they are trailing 1-0 at the 87th, 88th minute against Swansea. They probably were getting a little bit of deja vu, and they were thinking, oh my God, we're going to throw this away again. We're going to allow Chelsea now to go 10 points clear if we don't pick up any points. And that is just as well writing the name on the trophy. Still a very tough task, but they kept themselves in it. And I have to give them an enormous amount of credit for that. They bounced back and won the game 3-1, scoring 3 goals in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game. Remarkable sign of courage and just clutch factor, as they would say in America, for Tottenham Hotspur to keep themselves within the title race. Now, is it going to be an uphill task? Of course it is. Chelsea, a few scales towards the end. Stones missed a sitter from 2-3 yards. It's a little bit behind them, but Manchester City could have taken a point away from Chelsea. Eden Hazard is newly found again this season, returned from the back of the milk carton after last year, and he's found his form. And Chelsea, I think, in my opinion, will be champions, and rightfully so. They've been phenomenal. 7 points clear at this point. Tottenham will probably be looking to Manchester United to try and take away something. Chelsea have a very tough run in, let's be fair. Tottenham have already played them twice, so they don't have the fate in their own hands to try and minimise that gap. Chelsea play Bournemouth next. I can imagine it'll be 3 points there, because there's something about this team where they are not shaking in front of adversity. Yeah, they had to slip up, and this is a game where many people expect it to be a tough task, but business as usual. Defending well, and N'Golo Kante everywhere, strong at the back, Eden Hazard doing what he does when he's got the ball in the final third. So they've got all the signs there to be the Premier League winning team this year. It literally is in their hands, and I don't see them passing up that opportunity, and I see them really capping off a very successful first season for Antonio Conte, to say the least. But while there's not much else to kind of decipher in this clip, I have to reiterate that whilst teams like Manchester City, you're looking at this game and you're thinking, oh, Chelsea showed up the Premier League. We're forgetting the amount of money that Manchester City have spent this season. Pep Guardiola's first season in charge, the way they looked at the start and compared to now, it was just expected that they were going to lose this game. It is now expected that teams like Manchester City are just going to struggle, really, and not be expected to be competing at this point. And I think they've been let off the hook a little bit because Chelsea are good, because Chelsea look good. The idea is that Chelsea were going to win anyway. Manchester City, they competed. Is that really what people are thinking about Manchester City at this point, with the funding and everything else that went into making this team arguably one of the most competitive teams in the world? They fell flat in their face against Monaco, a team on paper far inferior to them. And they fall flat against Chelsea. So questions have to be asked of this Manchester City team. Yeah, it's Pep Guardiola's first year in charge, but it's been a failure. There's no doubt. Liverpool draw again, always knocking on the door. Great signs of retribution, great signs of them bouncing back and competing, and then they drop points against teams that they should not be dropping points against. Manchester United yesterday as well, drawing. This gap, at the moment, in my opinion, goes Chelsea way out in front, Tottenham still trying to keep up, and then the rest of those teams are way, way beneath those two teams that are at least continuing to mount consistent games and consistent run of games. So all credit to Tottenham. Not even a half of the amount of budget that I would say that Manchester City and United have at their arsenal, but they're able to kind of keep up with the only team that really seems to be pulling away from the pack. So credit to them. Hit us in the comments. What do you think? Is the Premier League title race over? Still open? Can Tottenham catch Chelsea? We put up a clip, actually, stay tuned for that, talking about Romelu Lukaku and how he's hot in form and who he may be moving to next year. We give Tottenham a shout out in that as well, because both Dele Alli and Harry Kane are very high up there on the top goal scorer charts this year. And stay tuned for more on TYT Sports.